Topic examines corporate governance and its importance in promoting accountability, transparency, and long-term value creation within corporations. Corporate governance refers to the system of rules, structures, and processes used to direct and control a company. Effective governance aligns management decisions with shareholder interests while balancing responsibilities toward other stakeholders such as employees, creditors, regulators, and customers. Strong governance reduces agency conflicts, improves strategic oversight, and strengthens investor confidence. Weak governance, by contrast, may lead to excessive risk-taking, fraud, poor decision-making, or misuse of corporate resources. Investors therefore evaluate governance quality carefully when assessing corporate risk and long-term investment attractiveness. A central issue in corporate governance is the agency problem, which arises because ownership and management are separated in most corporations. Shareholders, as owners, delegate operational control to managers who may pursue personal objectives that differ from maximizing shareholder value. Managers may prioritize excessive compensation, personal prestige, short-term earnings targets, or empire-building acquisitions rather than long-term corporate performance. Corporate governance mechanisms are designed to reduce these conflicts and ensure accountability. Effective oversight encourages management to act in the best interests of shareholders while maintaining ethical standards and sustainable strategic decision-making. Agency theory therefore provides an important framework for understanding governance structures and managerial incentives within modern corporations. The board of directors plays a critical role in corporate governance by representing shareholder interests and overseeing senior management. Board responsibilities include appointing and monitoring executives, approving strategic decisions, overseeing financial reporting, and managing risk. Independent directors are especially important because they are less likely to face conflicts of interest and can provide objective oversight of management performance. Boards often establish specialized committees, such as audit, compensation, and governance committees, to improve accountability and oversight quality. Strong boards contribute to better strategic discipline and risk management, while ineffective boards may fail to identify operational weaknesses, unethical behavior, or excessive executive risk-taking that could harm shareholder value. Executive compensation is another major governance consideration because incentive structures strongly influence managerial behavior. Compensation packages commonly include salaries, annual bonuses, stock options, restricted shares, and performance-based incentives. Well-designed compensation systems align management interests with shareholder objectives by rewarding long-term value creation rather than short-term performance manipulation. However, poorly structured incentives may encourage excessive risk-taking, earnings management, or strategic decisions focused solely on boosting near-term stock prices. Investors analyze executive compensation policies carefully because incentive alignment affects corporate culture, operational discipline, and strategic sustainability. Transparent compensation practices supported by independent board oversight generally contribute to stronger governance quality and investor confidence. Shareholder rights are also fundamental to effective corporate governance. Shareholders typically possess voting rights that allow them to elect directors, approve major corporate actions, and influence governance policies. Strong shareholder protections increase accountability by allowing investors to challenge management decisions or replace ineffective leadership. Minority shareholder rights are particularly important in companies with concentrated ownership structures, where controlling shareholders may dominate decision-making. Governance systems that promote transparency, equal treatment, and open communication with shareholders generally reduce conflicts and improve market confidence. Institutional investors increasingly engage with companies on governance matters, using voting power and shareholder activism to encourage responsible management and long-term strategic focus. The topic also emphasizes the importance of transparency, ethics, and internal controls in governance systems. Accurate financial reporting and disclosure practices allow investors to assess company performance and risks effectively. Independent audits, strong accounting controls, and regulatory compliance reduce the likelihood of fraud or financial manipulation. Ethical corporate cultures encourage responsible decision-making and support long-term stakeholder trust. Governance failures involving misleading financial reporting or weak internal controls have historically caused severe corporate collapses and significant investor losses. Analysts therefore examine disclosure quality, audit independence, compliance systems, and ethical practices carefully because governance transparency directly affects financial credibility and investment risk assessment. Environmental, social, and governance (ESG) considerations have become increasingly integrated into corporate governance analysis. Governance quality influences how companies address environmental risks, workforce management, diversity, and stakeholder relationships. Strong governance structures improve oversight of sustainability initiatives and long-term strategic risks such as climate change, cybersecurity, or regulatory developments. Investors increasingly recognize that governance failures can undermine financial performance and damage corporate reputation even when short-term profitability appears strong. ESG-focused governance analysis therefore expands traditional governance evaluation beyond financial oversight alone, incorporating broader sustainability and stakeholder accountability considerations into investment analysis and corporate performance assessment. Overall, topic highlights corporate governance as a critical factor influencing corporate performance, risk management, and investor protection. Governance mechanisms such as independent boards, effective compensation systems, shareholder rights, transparency standards, and ethical controls help align management behavior with long-term shareholder interests. Strong governance reduces agency conflicts, improves accountability, and supports sustainable value creation.